Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. A viewer of the Minute Review Show had recently recommended a restaurant known for serving the greatest dishes of Hong Kong. In this episode, we traveled to Oakland Gardens, Queens, New York, a neighborhood with many dining options. Upon entering the restaurant, I was pleasantly surprised, seeing an establishment that promises genuine Hong Kong cuisine, all on one menu. We entered Taste of Canton at the height of Saturday afternoon lunch and found a crowded dining room. Can one restaurant truly represent the breadth of Hong Kong cuisine? Come in and join me, and let's take a look. Hi, this is Arthur again from the Minute Review Show, and today we're at a place called Taste of Canton. Taste of Canton is at a place in Queens called Oakland Gardens. We're near the Long Island Expressway. This place is a Cantonese restaurant, and there's a variety of dim sum and also the dinner type of foods. We were recommended to come here from one of my viewers, so thank you very much for recommending this place. We're going to try a variety of dishes, mostly dinner type food. So let's take a look and see what I ordered at the menu for a Taste of Canton. It's a fairly big menu. This restaurant's about medium size, so they have a pretty full menu. First, you have the breakfast. The breakfast is served between 8:30 and 10:30 a.m. It's a Cantonese breakfast, a very carb-heavy breakfast, and they're all under $9. There's some breakfast combos. They serve rice rolls, freshly made rice rolls. You also have noodle soups. Then we have the all-day dim sum, and this is good for those who like dim sum later in the day. Then you have buns. You have deep-fried types of dim sum, like wontons and spring rolls. You have sweet dim sums, and then you have congee. And here's a bunch of congee, and they all appear to be under $10. Then we have the barbecue and marinated meats. So these are all the roast meats. Then we have crispy whole pig, and these can be bought by the pound. Next we have the Cantonese hot drinks, the ice drinks, and here's the fruit green tea and party tray menus for those who like American style types of party trays. When we flip it over, we have the Cantonese side of the menu. We have all the seafood dishes. These tend to be a little more expensive. We have pork, Cantonese pork dishes, Cantonese chicken dishes. We have the beef dishes. Then we have the vegetable dishes. These are generally under $20. We have Cantonese casseroles. We have the noodle dishes. Once again, under $20. And we have the appetizers, jellyfish right here. And we have different barbecue combos that you can get, like a curry trio combo. You have soups, Cantonese soups. Over here you have Blvd. You have hot pot rice. You have like 8 different types of fried rice. And then you have all your saucy stir fries over white rice right here. And that's the entire menu. The first dish that we ordered is the trio combo. The trio combo is a combination of 3 barbecued meats, 3 roast meats from this restaurant. We have the duck here, we have the roast pork here, and then we have the roast pig here. And I asked for the fatter cuts. We asked for fatty roast pork and the fatter roast pig. So let's take a look at these. Let's start with the duck from left to right. They gave us a leg piece. Okay, these look pretty good. And over here it looks like a duck back. And then next we'll try the tasio. Oh my god, take a look at this. Now you can see that the flavoring has penetrated the tasio, and there's a little bit of that unflavored part, but this looks pretty good. I mean, they did make an effort to get the fatter parts. You see the layer of fat on that piece? Okay, next we have the roast pig, and you can see this beautiful, juicy piece of roast pig. Now, if I pick it up and I squeeze it, take a look at that juice coming out of that roast pig. Very nice. And there's also a piece of skin. Now this is nice and crispy, as you can see. And generally this looks very promising. This plate of roast meats definitely passes the eye test. Okay, I'm going to try that triple roast meat plate that I just bought. Now, that plate is about $20. I'm going to try the tasio, and this is a fatty piece of tasio, fatty piece of roast pork. And this is what it looks like. And what a beautiful color. This has nice lacquered color that I like. Okay. It is nice and juicy. The interesting thing here is that there's an interesting wine flavor in that roast pork. I don't know if it's wine, but it tastes kind of winey. Maybe it's because of the bean curd that they're using in the sauce, but it's actually really good. It's different, nice and salty, and goes perfectly with rice. I think I like it a lot. It's very nice. Next piece I'm going to try is the roast pig. Now look at this. I asked for the fatty part. And take a look at this. This is really nice. You have 2 layers of fat. They really did it the right way. So let's try this. Nice combination of fat and meat. Very nice. This is very good. The flavor on the bottom has actually permeated the top layers of the meat. There's an equal amount of salting on each layer of the meat. The 5 spice is not too strong, which is good. And the skin is pretty crispy. It's not the crispiest that I have, but it's actually really good. Very nice. They did come through on the fattier pieces of roast pig. The next piece I'm going to try is the roast duck. Now this is the roast duck. Now look at that. The color is right, roasted perfectly. Now let's take a look at the bottom underside. Looks juicy. Let's give it a try. Yes, that leg has plenty of flavor. Nice oily duck flavor. Classic Cantonese duck flavor. Very good, not dry at all. Now let's try the back of the duck. Now the back of the duck actually has less meat but more skin, which for some people they might like it that way. Some people like the skin more than the meat. So let's try this. Beautiful. That's gorgeous. That duck is nice and juicy once again, despite the fact that it's the back of the duck. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. Would go great with rice. I'll give this a big thumbs up. And once again, that plate with the 3 meats is only a shade under $20. The dish that we ordered is the hamaiturng, or the dried shrimp rice roll. Now, when you look at this dried shrimp rice roll, you're going to see some dried shrimp, green onions, and also some other elements that I can't really identify until I eat it. But I'll let you know later. But looking at this rice roll, it's a very generous portion, and it is an exceptionally generous portion for only $5. Look at this. Look how many rows there. I can count. There might be about 6 rolls in here. So this is super generous. Love this. Hey, the next dish I'm going to try is the hamaiturng, or the dried shrimp rice roll, and this is it. Now, this looks really good. In fact, you see how this is all in one piece? That shows me that it is freshly made because it was scraped off of a pan. So let's dip this into some of that soy sauce that came with the dried shrimp rice roll. So here's a piece. I'm dipping it in, and this is what it looks like. Wow. This is super bouncy, because normally when you have a bad rice roll, it tastes pasty and floury. Now this is not pasty and floury, it's bouncy. And you can also taste the dried shrimp. The dried shrimp is nice mild flavor, just a hint of it. If I'm not mistaken, I think there might be some salted radish in here. There's a tiny bit of crunch. But I like that touch because the old way of making this type of dish is always to add that salted element into the rice roll. So very good. I like this dish. They're so generous, and for only $5. Okay, when I saw that we had the option of ordering made-to-order Chungfun, made-to-order rice rolls, I had to order something. And this is dalerang, which is the cruller wrapped up in rice roll skin. So you can see this is the cruller, or the yeotil, wrapped up in this rice roll skin. There's sesame seeds that are sprinkled on top of the rice roll, and also there's some soy sauce, and also what I think is hoisin sauce on this side, which is the usual way to do this. I just touched it with my fingers and it's warm, so I know it's made to order. Can't wait to dig into this. Okay, let's move on to the dalerang, which is the rice roll with the yeotil in the middle. This is what it looks like. Let's dip it into some of that hoisin sauce and give that a try. There's also some soy sauce too. Nice and warm, freshly made. The noodle skin is fine, it's perfect. It's just like that dried shrimp rice roll I just had. Nice and bouncy. This one, I would say, is for the people who like lots of carbs, because you're having a carb on carb. So it's a little heavy for me, but if you like lots of carbs, this is a great dish. Hoisin sauce is nice and sweet. So yeah, it's pretty good. The dish that we order is the curry trio combo. So basically it's 3 types of food that are covered in a curry sauce. And this is a very Hong Kong style dish because they love this yellow type of curry. So we have fish balls, we have some daikon radish, and then we also have this pork skin, this dried pork skin. So we're gonna give this a try. I'm thinking, just from smelling it, that it's going to be pretty spicy, but we'll see. Okay, the next dish that we're going to try is the curry trio combo. Now, there's 3 types of foods in this curry sauce. So let's try this. We're gonna try the granddaddy of them all, which is the fish ball. Okay, fish balls in curry sauce is really famous Hong Kong street food. Let's try this. Okay, the fish balls that they use is the deep fried fish balls, the one with the beige colored skin. It's good. Not super bouncy, but good. I think I mentioned before that the curry sauce has a lot of punch to it. It seems to me pretty concentrated. In a way, it's kind of overpowering. But if you like overpowering or stronger curry flavors, this is good for you. I wouldn't mind if they dialed that curry flavor down a little bit, but this is very good. Now, let's try the next component, which is the pork skin. Now, this pork skin is basically dried pork skin reconstituted and put into this curry sauce. Let's see what it's like. Okay, now this one's a little too much because the reconstituted pork skin absorbs all that curry gravy, and it's like a sponge. That gravy is super overpowering, so I feel like I'm getting a little too much of that flavor. Yes, this would be okay, the pork skin would be okay, but only if the curry sauce was not as strong. But, like I said, some people like the stronger flavor. And finally, I'm going to try the daikon radish. Here's the daikon right here. Now, let's see if the flavor penetrates all the way through this radish. Out of the 3 elements of this trio, daikon is the best because the curry sauce didn't penetrate all the way through. It gives the daikon a very nice spicy element, and not only that, it's not overpowering, and it actually tastes light and refreshing. So yeah, this dish is a mixed bag. I wish they dialed the curry sauce flavor down a little bit, but this is actually pretty good. Today, we're in a neighborhood called Oakland Gardens, and I'm not very familiar with this area, but it seems like there's a couple of good Asian restaurants around the area. I saw Little Dumpling, another branch of it somewhere nearby, and there are a couple of like Korean places, and I believe I saw a hot pot place. So neighborhood seems to be pretty diverse in terms of the foods that they offer. Next dish that we ordered is the curry chicken over rice. Now this comes with thin slices of chicken. It also comes with some onions, traditionally made. And one interesting thing about this curry rice, I do not see a lot of onions, which is pretty interesting. But the curry flavor is exceptionally strong. It's really wafting up, and I'm smelling it. There's a bowl of rice up here. That's a bowl size rice. And there's plenty of sauce here. So I think this dish is definitely going to be very promising. They're doing it a little differently because we see fewer onions. The next dish I'm going to try is the curry chicken. Now this is a plate lunch. The plate lunch is basically white rice with some gravy over the top, or some kind of stir fry over the top. So this is the curry rice. Here's a thin slice of chicken, some onions, very thin onions, they look like shallots, and the white rice with the sauce. Let's try this. In contrast to the other curry dish that I just showed you, this one is not strong, it's weaker, but it's better because it's not dialed all the way up like the other one, but this one is nice, and there's also a hint of sweetness to it. I like it. There's also on my plate, there's plenty of curry. It's actually really nice. Okay, the next dish that I ordered is the beef chow fun, guan chao ngao ho. Now, this beef chow fun has a bunch of nice thin slices of beef. You can see the width of that cut. I'm smelling it. There's a good wok aroma. And these noodles, when I pick them up, okay, it passes the chow fun test because these are the thick and broad noodles. There's a nice soy sauce component that is wafting up into my nose. There's bean sprouts, and there's green onions right here. So as I lift up this dish, it's pretty hefty, and I believe this dish is about $16. The smell is great. Can't wait to try it. Okay, the next dish I'm going to try is the beef chow fun. Now the beef chow fun, I believe, was about $18. It came in a pretty big portion. Now look at these noodles, nice and wide and a little thick, which is classic beef chow fun noodles. Now let's give this a try. Okay, on my wok scale, this gets about a 7. It's not dialed all the way up, but it's good. There's lots of wok flavor. The soy sauce has a very caramelized soy sauce flavor. It's delicious. Noodles are bouncy and fresh. Does not taste old. It's definitely fresh. The meat is cut nice and thin. You see the thinness of that? It's delicious. Now, I have to say something about the meat. This meat hasn't been super velveted. On a scale of 1 to 10 of velveting, I would give it maybe a 4. But as I said, there are some people have their own preferences. This particular one isn't as velveted, doesn't have that bouncy treated meat flavor, but it's okay because the flavor, the marination has surely penetrated the meat. It's just the texture isn't as bouncy, but the overall flavor put together in this dish is very good, very delicious. We've reached the pièce de résistance, and this is the salted fish on top of pork patty. Now this pork patty is pretty hefty. It's about 3.5 inches in diameter, and this salted fish, this is actually the most expensive ingredient. It's laid right on top of the pork patty. So the way you normally eat this is that you would just scoop this up. We've already poured the sweet soy sauce into this. We break it up a little bit, and let's take a look at the side, what they have. Okay, so as I can see, it's been crisped up a bit. There are 2 pieces of choy sum, or Chinese vegetables, and let's see how crispy it is. Okay, let me dig right in here, and let's see the quality. Okay, I already hear the crunch. Now, okay, here's a small piece. Surprisingly, it's not very brown. Let's dig in a little deeper. See how brown this is. Okay, so from what I see, it's just a light brown color. Normally with Blvd or clay pot rice, we want this a darker brown. Okay, so yeah, we'll give it a try. Maybe the lighter brown is okay. Okay, the next dish I'm going to try is the pork patty with salted fish. Now, the clay pot rice that I just showed you, it didn't look like there was that much crisp on the clay pot rice. Let's try this and see how it turns out. I'm going to try the pork first. Okay, the pork is nice and salty. On the scale of 1 to 10, I would give it maybe a 8 in saltiness. It's actually pretty salty, but you need that salt to make it more palatable with the rice. It's okay. In the pork, I could taste that they added a little cornstarch into the patty to give it a little smoother texture. So it's not bad. There's also other stuff that they added in here. I can't really identify what it is. Yeah, but the texture is good. It's smooth, I think because of the cornstarch. So it's not bad. Now let's try the rice. Okay, very nice. I can tell the rice is jasmine rice. A nice soft texture. Good quality rice. Always great for Blvd. Next, I'm going to try the hamyu or the salted fish. Here it goes. Now, normally you would eat this with rice, but I'm just going to eat it by itself to judge the quality. Now that hamyu is really good. It has a little that is not too salty, but it's definitely salty. It has a little bit of that pasty flavor, pasty texture. Let me eat everything in one bite. The hamyu, the pork, and the rice. Let's see how it goes. Perfect combination. When you eat this, you're not supposed to eat it separately. You're supposed to eat it all in one bite. And that's very good. Earlier, I mentioned that I was concerned about the lack of crispy rice because most people, when they eat clay pot rice, they want the crispy bits on the bottom. Now, I was able to dig out this piece. There's some of the soy sauce that leaked onto the bottom, but let's see how crispy this piece really is. And full disclosure, I've let that crispy rice form for about 15 minutes. So this clay pot rice had 15 minutes to get crispy. Let's see what it's like. Okay. Unfortunately, it's not so crispy. It's been sitting there, so it's actually... Let's do the scale again. On a scale of 1 to 10, the crispiness is like a 2. I think I let it sit there a little too long. In terms of flavor, the topping is great. The pork and the salted fish is great. The quality of the rice is exceptional because it's Thai jasmine rice and is done well, cooked very well. The only minus is the crispiness. I don't think they heated that clay pot high enough to give it that crispy bottom, but it's okay because I think the first 3 elements make that forgivable. Now it's time for, ta-da, the star of the show. Now, today we tried a lot of dishes, and there are 2 dishes that stood out amongst the many that we ordered today. And number 1 is the chung fun. The chung fun, especially the one that had the dried shrimp chung fun, was really good. The texture was amazing. It wasn't pasty. The flavorings on top of that rice roll were subtle, but really good. In fact, I think you can eat that without having any of the soy sauce put on top of it. It was flavored that well. I definitely would give that the cold top spot. The second item that I would say is the star of the show are the roast meats. Now, granted, I asked them to give me the more fatty cuts. These are really good. They're flavored so well. They penetrated the meat. It's an even flavoring from top to bottom. And it's roasted to perfection. Came to my table warm, nice and warm. And what more can you ask for? I mean, you could just get the roast meats with rice and you're done. This is super high quality, and I highly recommend this, along with the cheongpan rice roll. Okay, the meal is over, and overall, I would say that this place is really good. Totally Hong Kong style. Even the drinks, they offer Hong Kong style drinks, like teas and lemon tea. There's a lot of people at this restaurant. It's about 12 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. The entire dining room is filled with people, and the majority, if not all, speak Cantonese, so this is definitely a Cantonese favorite in the neighborhood. And it's good to have places like this. The local population here definitely supports this restaurant. Thanks again for watching the Minute Review Show, and please give a like and also comment down below. Let me know what you think of this place. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Only 80% of the viewers to this channel don't subscribe, so if you could subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you have friends who are traveling to New York City, or if you have friends who are from the area, send them over to this channel and show them some of the places that I've been to. My reviews are very objective. I tell you what I actually think about the foods that I eat, and none of these reviews that I make are endorsements of the place. I just give you my experience at these restaurants. But I must say that I do a very careful job in selecting the places that I go to. So hopefully most of the places that I go to are good. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in my next video very soon. The final bill before tip is $83.47. There was an 8% discount for paying in cash.